Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, let me start. So, we are discussing about the posting period variant. Okay. So,
Hi.
yes, madam.
Hi. Before you start, hey, actually, I had some questions that I had requested you to reply on the discussion board, but I never heard back from you. Can you please take a look?
Okay, tell me what are the questions. I clarify. Let me know here.
I don't remember. I have to open the discussion board. So give me a
One
minute.
second. I'll open that. I'll open. 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. These are the questions.
Yeah, I think if you go up there, it should be posted by Khushbu Patel. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. We have been talking back and forth regarding the transaction codes you have been using. Please understand, for someone with no SAP background, it is difficult to know how you are navigating so quickly with the shortcuts you are using. I cannot start my practice fully until. Madam, one thing I can tell you. Okay, last class also, I hope this has been discussed. Okay, so now don't worry about the transaction codes which I'm using here. I'll tell you. Okay, because I already have the list here. Okay, so if you see here, these are the list of the transaction codes I'm pending here. I'm putting out all the transaction codes here, but I never share this transaction code. There are 3,000 transaction codes in entire the SAP world. I'm talking about 3,000 transaction codes are there. Okay, so this is the complete list of the transaction codes where the SAP has been released, but I'm not sharing with you all of you. Why? Because first of all, as you are going to be the new to the SAP world, I always want everybody to get practice by using of this path only till you get comfort, till you get know what exactly, where exactly the transaction is going to be, remember everything, whatever may be. So everyone, so I want you have to get practice with the navigation path only. Transaction codes are secondary. So at any time you can have all the transaction codes by googling or anywhere you can get it, but knowing the path is very, very important. For any kind of knowing the path is very, very important actually. So that is the reason I'm not sharing this PPT. I'm not sharing this particular file to anybody till I complete minimum 50% of the syllabus. Getting, madam? Excuse me.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay, but at least the ones you are using, because I don't know what SPRO means and stuff like that.
No, see, if you go and see my recordings, I'm not directly coming through the transaction code. See, for example, I'm not using, okay, for example, if you see here, okay, so OB52, I'm not using this transaction codes. I'm not directly coming, and here I'm not explaining directly with the transaction. So at any time, if you see my recordings, I'm always using the path only. I'm always using the path SPRO, IMG. SPRO is the command. SPRO SPRO is the command we are going to be using to enter into the configuration IMG path actually. SPRO is the command we are going to be using to enter into the IMG for the configuration. IMG is nothing but implementation guide.
Okay.
So always what I will do here, I will always use only the path actually. If you see my previous classes also, in any class, if you take from past 1 year or 1.5 year, I will never use any transaction codes until or unless if everybody's comfort in SAP that okay, so if you go to this path, okay, this transaction is available. If you go to that path, that transaction is available. So until or unless if you're not habituated with the complete path, I'll never discuss. I'll never ask you to go with the practice with the transaction course.
Okay.
So don't worry, madam, because I have all the documents with me. See, these are the list of the transaction codes, and here also, if you see here, I'll tell you one example. See, if I want to create any cost object, KKH1. KKH1 is the creating of the cost object group. What is the use of the KKC1? Okay, what is it? what is the dependency on it. See, this is what exactly I want to share with you all, but not now. But it will take some time to use all these transaction codes actually. So first, I want everybody to get habituated with the path, and then I'll provide you the transaction codes.
Okay.
Because this is going to be my last in my Xerantech also taking the classes. Okay, so I'll share everything with you.
Thank you.
No more further classes for Xerantech. Yeah, so if you want to refer anybody, you can refer to another faculty. So I will not be available for the next sessions. Okay. So if you want to refer anybody, so you can refer, another faculty will be onboarding. So you can refer to that.
What do you mean by that? You are not taking our classes now?
No, only your classes. Only I'm winding up with your classes.
Okay, till end.
Till end.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So now we are discussing. So I think everybody's comfort on fiscal year variant. Na? So we discussed about 4 classes. Only the concept of fiscal year variant. If you see go and back, we have spent about 3.5 hours only on the fiscal year variant. So very, very important actually. Very, very important. See, forget about the certification point of view. Don't concentrate on the certification, please. Every time I'm telling, don't concentrate on the certification. So here, whatever the sessions which I'm delivering, it is a completely based on the real time. So what is the confidence I'm going to make you means if you are directly put it on any project after the course has been completed. So if I make sure that 100% you will be in a confidence that, okay, if I put in any project, definitely without any assistance of your senior consultant, you can have your own work with your own, I'm telling. So that is the confidence I'm going to be building you. So certification is just a learning, but whatever the classes which I'm going to be taking on the day-to-day basis, these are the practicals which helps you to grow your career, I'm telling. So even your senior consultants who are working in your SAP, or maybe who are working in any SAP company, they might not know what I'm telling here. I mean to say that is a weightage I'm going to be putting in each and every class. So please, okay. So every point is very, very important for us. Now, I'm coming to the posting period variant now. Okay. Now, last class we discussed about what is the fiscal year variant. What is the fiscal year variant? Now, there is one more variant concept we are going to be calling it as a posting period variant. Posting period variant. Okay. Now, what is the posting period actually? First of all, I would like to know what is the posting period. Okay, anyhow, we know the concept of variant. Already we discussed about the concept of variant while we are discussed about the fiscal year. Okay, so now I need to discuss about the posting period. What is the posting period? Any documents in SAP, if you're posting any transactions, if you take any transactions in SAP, any transactions you're posting in SAP, it might be related to the materials, procurement of the materials, or during the goods have been sold to the customer, or invoices, or the payments, or general expenses, whatever the transactions which are going to be impacting to my general ledger accounting, which are getting updated, means which are getting updated to my GL. General ledger is the central tenant of total accounting system. Without the general ledger, there is no financial accounting. General ledger, we call it as a central tenant of total accounting system. We call it as a central tenant of total accounting system. Why? Because all the transactions, all the financial transactions which are getting posted from which are getting posted from sales, these are all the modules, like how we call the FI is a module, controlling is a module, sales and distribution is a one module, is a one module, controlling is the one module, and PP and HR, these all are going to be called as the modules actually. So in every module, if we take, there will be some financial transaction in the background, an accounting entry is going to be triggered. Okay, that accounting entry has to reconcile and it has to be get posted to my general ledger. Finally, all the accounting entries has to be get updated to my general ledger accounting. Why? Because GL, as I told you, that without the GL, we don't have the financial accounting. Without the GL, there is no P&L account and balance sheet. There is no financial statement in SAP itself. So that much of weightage we are going to be giving it as a GL. Now, all the financial transactions are getting posted to my general ledger accounting actually. So when I'm posting the transactions in my SAP, when I'm posting my transactions in my SAP now, normally, if we go back, there are 12 periods we have. Normally we have 12 periods, 1 to 12 periods are there. If you are taking the financial year as a K4, if you are taking the financial year as a K4, K4 is nothing but Jan to December. Jan to December. K4 is nothing but Jan to December. So when you take the K4, which is a Jan to December, we have 12 periods are there. 1 to 12 periods are there. Okay, 12 periods are there. Forget about the special period, 13, 14, 15, 16, forget about that. Okay. So normal regular periods we have, 12 periods are there. So every period, if you go and see, we are posting some financial accounting entries. In every period, we are posting the financial transactions. So in SAP, we have a control. We have a control that we can open and close the periods. We can open and close the periods. Okay. For example, now we are in the month of January. We are in the month of January now. Now we are in the month of January. January is a month, or we can call it as a period now, because we are talking something about the posting period. So we have to call it as a period. January is a period. It has to be open now. It has to be open to allow, very, very important, to allow the transactions to be posted to GL. To allow the transactions to be posted. Only I'm talking not all the transactions, only the financial accounting entries only. Only financial accounting entries which are getting updated to the general ledger, only those financial, because this open and close posting period variant, what we are going to be discussing, this is only related to the finance. It is not related to the material. It is not related to the sales, nothing but. It is only related to the financial transactions. Financial transactions, very, very important. I hope everybody knows what are going to be the financial transactions, everything. Okay, so here, so the January period should be opened. So what I'm going to do in my regular practice, every month I had to open and I had to close my financial periods actually. So now at current year, if you take 2020, which is my financial year, my first period now, which is January. Now we are in the date of 20th January. So my period is opened is nothing but my first period. That is the January period. What happened to the remaining periods? The remaining periods means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These all are closed. Means closed means now I'm making my system not to. So here what I will do here. So I'm putting 2020 and here I'm taking it as a 1 only. I'm taking it as a 1. See here, very, very important in the first step. So I'm opening for 2020 only. So the period which I'm going to be taking is the first period, that is the month of January. Now, second, somebody can tell me now, anybody in the class, can you tell me on what basis I'm telling this period 1 is a January? How do the SAP know this is a January period? Because there are so many fiscal years are there. Okay, I have some K4, V3, V6, V9, January to December, April to March, July to June, October to September. A lot of fiscal years are there. But how do I confidently tell that this is my January period? How do I confidently? Somebody can tell me? How do the SAP knows? Forget about what is my confidence. How do the SAP knows?
It's what you set up when you set up K4. You told it the day range for the period.
Exactly. So I told that. Okay, so you are setting up this K4 means you are assigning this K4 is a fiscal year variant to your company code. Okay, so US 10 is nothing but your company code. Okay, so you are assigning this K4 to this particular company code. Okay, now your fiscal year variant is Jan to December, but in your fiscal year variant, nowhere I specified whether it is a 2020 or 2021. Just I created the structure and that K4 has been assigned to my company code. It is called as a year independent. Now, for the same company code, now here, if you take the company code US 10, where I have assigned it as a K4, Now for the same company code, I am assigning this posting period variant also. So the posting period variant can be any 4 alphanumerical character code. Just like a fiscal year is K4, 2 alpha code, 2 characters. In the same way, the posting period variant should be within any 4 character code. So for example, XX01, example I'm taking. This is my posting period variant. So if you see this assignment, K4 is assigned to the company code, and parallelly what I'm going to do, this posting period variant is also assigned to the same company code where I have assigned the K4. Now, this posting period variant is proportionate to your fiscal year variant because it is dependency is there. Your posting period variant dependency is there on the fiscal year variant for which the company code has been assigned to the variant. Very, very important. So here, if I call it as the first period means, it is a January. If for the same company code, assume that if you assigned V3, example, not K4, if you assigned the V3, same company code, this variant will start from the April, not from the December, so not from the January. It is the April is the first period for me because it is completely go and check which fiscal year variant you have been assigned to the company code. So the posting period variant will be directly act on the fiscal year variant. So depends upon the variant what you have been assigned. So that will be the period is the opening for you. So first period, it is my 2020 financial year is 2020, and I have given the 2 period also. I have given the 2 period also as a 1 for the 2020. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. Means I am opening only 1 period simultaneous, not both the periods. Only 1 period. That is the month of January only. What happened if a user is trying to post any transactions for the month of February or March, the system will throw an error. The period 2 or 3 is not open for posting of the financial transaction. Why? Because you have opened only 1 period, that is for the 2020 to 2020.
Hey, Mahesh.
Yeah.
So this period 1 is open. I understood that. Then what about the following lines that we have below that?
I'll tell. I'm coming to one by one. I'll tell you. Okay. So following lines I'll coming. Okay. So first I'm making you the concept to understand what are the periods are open and what is the fiscal year. This is what exactly the fiscal year which is open for me right now. Now normally we'll create an authorization group for opening and closing of the period. Okay. Authorization. See, for example, I'll tell you one example. Okay. Tell me, okay, so some John is working in my company. Okay. Albert is working in my company. They are only the 2 consultants who has to be given authorization to open and close these posting periods actually. Not all to everybody. Okay, very, very important. Even though if you have 100 consultants are working in your company, but the authorization to this particular transaction code, where we can call it as the OP52. This is OP52 transaction. So what I will do, I will give authorization only for 2 to 3 consultants. I'll create a group for them. That authorization group I'll provide here. So for example, the authorization group which I created is the XS01, like for example. So this is the authorization group. Under this authorization group, there are 2 consultants are there. One is John, another one is Albert. Okay. So only these 2 consultants will have the authorization to change the periods from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 2 to 4 like that. This is called as the authorization group actually. So if you go to the PFCG transaction, please make a note. This is not finance, but I will explain you. If you go to the transaction called as, okay, so if you go to the transaction code called as SU01D. So I'll show some user profiles. SU01D is the, please make a note, all of you, please make a note of this. SU01D, D for, okay, dog. Okay, so now, what is my username? My username is nothing but CFIN test, because I log to the system. When I'm logging to the system here, I log it through the user ID, which is going to be called as the CFIN test. This is my user ID. Mahesh user ID is CFIN test is the user ID. Now, I'll go to the SU01D and press enter. Now it is asking me the username. So I'll give the username CFIN test. I'm giving the CFIN test. See here, I'll get all the details. Username, what is the last name, what is the address, and what is the name, everything, Mumbai, something, blah, blah, blah. I'll get all the details. Okay, so now I'm giving here CFIN test. Now, if I want to see my user details, now you have to click on the display option here. Here there is the option called as the display. Just click on the display. Now here I will get complete address, okay, the username, address, full name, last name, everything I'll get. Here we call it as a roles. So here you can see here roles. What are all the roles have been assigned to this particular user? So if you see here, if we come and look out in my FI, when you come and look out in FI we have the general ledger, we have the accounts payable, we have the accounts receivable. There are three sub-modules are there. There are FI is a module actually. FI is a complete module. Finance is a module actually. We can call it as a finance is a module. If we come to the finance, we have three ledgers are there. One is the main ledger called as a GL. Accounts payable is related to the vendors and accounts receivable is related to the customers. Account receivables is related to the customers. Now, let us assume that Mahesh is working in my company. Mahesh is working in my company only for the vendor invoices because, okay, his responsibility is only to make the vendor invoices and the payments to the vendor. Only these two actions, not more than this. So Mahesh, he is working as an accounting clerk in my company. So his responsibility is nothing but make sure that the invoices are getting posted and the payments have been done to the vendor only. So any transactions related to the GL or any transactions related to the customer, he don't have any access. He has given only access to this particular two transactions only. So what I will do here, I'll come to the roles. Now here, if you see here, what my GRC team, there will be one security team will be working in our company. We can call them as the GRC team actually, security or GRC team. So they will create you one role ID. They will create you roles like this. They will create one roles. Okay, so if I go and see the role ZSAP_CFIN_user. Okay, now if I go to the transaction code, please make a note of this. PFCG. Please use the transaction code PFCG. Have you noted everybody? PFCG. Come to this transaction code. Now, what are all the roles have been assigned? You can see here. Okay, so for Mahesh, for user ID, these are the roles they have assigned to me. So these are the roles they have been assigned to me. All are inactivated. See here, all are going to be called as activated within a single role. And the end date and the start date has been given to me. End date and the start date has been given to me here. Very, 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 very important here. So what is the role here? The role is nothing but Z_S_SFIN_user. Okay, if I open this role, if I paste over here, this is my role. Who has created this role? The security team. Not all the users will get all the accesses. If you go in real time, not all the users will get all the accesses. Only the particular, whatever the day-to-day activity they are going to be doing, only those roles are going to be assigned to the users. Now, if I come to the role and if I click on the display, there is an option. You can see there is an option. Okay, gurgles. Okay, so if you click on these specs. Now here you can see here. This role includes the administrative task based on that. Okay, the user interface add-on for the SAP network, blah blah blah, something like that. Okay, so if I come here, authorizations. Okay, so here the date has been given here, something like, okay, they have created the role on so and so, who is the user created, admin is the user he has created. And you can see here they have created one profile for me, and this profile has been connected to all the roles. Okay, display roles axis. Okay, display authorization data. So who will do this activity? This activity will be done by the security people. Actually, there will be a separate team is working in your company called as security consultants, or they are also called as, today we are calling them as a GRC team actually. Okay, these are the display roles. So these are all the roles which have been assigned to my role, and you can see these many roles have been assigned here. Okay, so if I come back and if I click on the user, so this particular role, whatever the role, this particular role has been given access to all these users. See here, ACDF 001, 002, 003, 004, or for everybody. You can see here, for everybody, this role has been given the access. These are the usernames. These are the usernames. You can see these are the usernames. In that username, my name will be also CFIN, and the CFIN test will also be there here in the user. See here, CFIN test is also there. My user ID is also there. See, CFIN test is also there here. So here, this PFCG is nothing but where you are going to be maintaining the roles, and here those roles are getting assigned. Those roles are getting assigned to the user, to the particular user in which a transaction code in SU01D. In SU01D. If this role is missing for me, means there are whatever the transactions you have been assigned to this particular role, those transactions I cannot access. The system will throw an error. You don't have the authorization. You don't have the authorization. You don't have the authorization. So what I will do here, I'll create an authorization group, and that authorization group I will assign over here, so that only those consultants who have the authorized to this particular authorization group can change this from period and the to period. Not all the people can do this activity. Clear? Clear to all of you? Okay. Okay. Now, so today we are going to be, so what is happening? So because we are doing some month-end closing, year-end closing activity. So 2019, still it has to be open for my 12th period. So my 12th period is always open. That is for 2019, because I had to do some adjustments, and my current year is also open for 2020. Means last year 12th period is open for 2019, because I told that if you want to, so I'll change it here. So if you want to do any adjustments for the previous year adjustments, all the adjustments are getting posted to 13 to 16 actually, 13 to 16. Now what I will do here, this 13 to 16 periods you are opening for 2019 financial year. 2019 financial year, and I told that your last period of your financial year always should be open. Until or unless if it is not opened, you cannot do any kind of adjustment. So this period 1, from period 1 is talks about the normal periods, and from period 2 and 2 will talks about the special periods. If you have done all the adjustments, you'd assume that you have done all the adjustments. Now what I'm going to do, I'm coming back and I'm closing 2020, and I'm changing here 2020. Now, if you see here, I'm coming and I'm changing. Now the first period is open for me. 2020 is open, means your 2019 has been closed. Now you're trying to post. If you're trying to post any transactions for the 2019 for the month of December, the system will not allow because the period is closed. That is what exactly we call it as open and close posting periods. Now, why there are so many lines here? If you still remember, if you go to my back classes, if you go by my back class, okay, I told that account types, the concept have been told to you, all of you. Account types. If, for example, let me copy this. Okay, let me copy this. Okay, let it be here. Now, if I put a plus, plus is nothing but which is valid for all account types. Plus is nothing but which is valid for all account types. Means in my company, I'm posting the vendors, I'm posting the customers, I'm posting the GLs, like that. I'm posting all types of transactions. Means place, if you put a plus, means the system will allow for all types of transactions, not only specifically for vendor or customer or GL. Any transactions you can post from the in the period of first period. That is the plus. Plus is nothing but which is valid for all account types. If I take A is nothing only for asset related transactions, asset accounting. We can call them as a fixed asset accounting, like buildings, plant and machinery, furniture and fixtures. Like we have different types of fixed assets are there. So all these asset acquisitions means when I want to acquire any asset or when I want to retire the asset, whatever the transactions you are making with the asset accounting, those transactions will be included in this asset accounting. If I take a D is nothing but customer, K is nothing but a vendor, M is nothing but a material, very, very important, and S is nothing but a GL, and V is nothing but a contra accounts. Like this, we have we have 6 account types. These all are going to be called as account types. A is asset, D is a customer. This is standard SAP. Please make a note. No change. This is the standard. Wherever you find account type, A means it is asset. D, M is nothing but a material. S is nothing but we can call it as a GL. No change in this. Now, let me take one example now. I'm taking all account types here. I'm taking all account types. In this all account types, every account type is included in this place. Place is nothing but a which is going to be valid for all account types. Okay, Mahesh. So let it be as it is, because in my company, I'm doing all types of transactions in my company. But Mahesh, do one thing. For vendors, actually, for the month of January, we are not going to do any kind of transactions for the month of January. No vendor transactions should be posted in the month of January, only for the month of January. So if you're taking a place, I understand that. If I take a place, because the vendor account is also included here. K is nothing but a vendor. Vendor account is also included in the place. So you are giving 1 to 1 means place is nothing but which is valid for all account types. But I want to have a restriction over here. Vendor transactions should not be posted. Remaining all the transactions can be posted, but except the vendor. So what I will do here, I will include the K here separately. Apart from the place, I will include the K here. And what I will do here, I will not opening the period 1 because I had to do the previous year's adjustment. So I will open the 12th period. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. Very, very important. Still, I open the 2019 12th period. 2019 example like this. So if you see both the things here, 1 to 20, that is nothing but the first period is open for the 2020, but I'm excluding the transaction account key, that is K, from the place and making that it has to be allowed only for the month of 12. Or you are in the month of February. Okay, all times. But in the month of February, no vendor transaction should be posted. Vendor transactions has to be posted in the month of only for the month of January only. Now, what I'll do here, I'm putting only 1. Like this. Means you can take place and you can include all account types. And if you want to exclude or if you want to have any change in any account type, whether the transactions has to be allowed for the postings or doesn't have the allowed to the postings, anything, then you can include the individual account types and you can make the necessary settings which cannot be included in the plus type over here. It's very, very important. Clear to all of you till here? Anyone?
Logically, I have a question. I understood your concept, but since I'm from finance background, not from SAP, I'm a little confused because usually, like in the softwares I have used, you can you can have like an open period, for like all accounts, the open period would be the same. You cannot have different open periods for different accounts, but in SAP you can, right?
You can.
Okay.
Even if I'm taking the place, which include all the type, but I want to exclude the K from the plus, because K I am allowing only for the month of January. Even if the K is also there in the place, but I'm excluding because I'm separately and giving a separate account type as a K and I'm putting it as a 1. But in other all account types, I'm making it as a 2. Clear?
Mahesh, it's me, Shyam.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you meant to say that whenever the account type is there, the entry is there for account type with account type, those ones will be used as a to exclude class, right?
Yes, sir. 1 second, sir. Just 1 second. Now see here in this example. Okay. 1 second, sir. Just 1 second. 1 second, sir. 1 second. Sorry. Now, how many account types I have taken, sir? 2. One is plus, another one is K. Okay. Now, I'll remove this one also. Now, tell me here, sir, what does you understand about the plus, sir?
My understanding that whenever the account types are there, then those entries will be used as a exclude condition.
Can you come again, sir? If I take a plus here, I'm not taken other account types. Only
Right.
if I take
If
my
it is
posting
only
period
place
variant
is
at
there,
1710,
it will
I take it as
use
plus.
for that entry will be used for
All account
all
types.
the accounts, all the modules.
Any time. Okay, so only for the month of, here I'm going to be taking only for the month of January.
Right.
I'm right, sir?
Right.
Only for the month of January I'm making here. All account types, irrespective of any account type, A, D, K, customer, vendor, anything. But now, I'm going for a new entry and I'm adding a new one apart from A. I'm adding the vendors. Vendors is nothing but a K. I don't know how many accounts I'm posting, so I put as a ZZZ. And here I'm putting as a 2020 to 2020. Now tell me, sir, here. So what does it mean that? If we go back, apart from the place, I am also including another account type. Apart from the place, I am also including another account type, which we can call it as K.
Right.
Okay, now I include another account type also, K. But this account type will allow only the postings for month of January only. But this
Okay.
I'm changing to 2.
Okay.
This
It
I'm
is
changing
allowing.
to 2.
I thought in the other way around. Okay. For if it is K is there especially, then it will use only that month for the entry.
Exactly.
I was
So
in the impression of the other way around.
exactly. Now you're taken the case separately so that it will allow only for the first period, not for the second period.
Yeah.
So at any type of accounting entry, if we come and see here, okay, if we come and see here, so in the normal regular practice, what I will do, I will take all the account types and I will have a control which can be excluded from this place at any time. Clear to all of you up to here, the concept of this, up to here, the concept is clear to all of you here, till here? Any doubts?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mahesh, one question.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of doing this?
What, sir?
What is the purpose of assigning, like say you said year 2000, like for say asset account, which is A, you said year 2000.
Okay, so if I'm posting any transaction, so for example, now I'm posting a transaction which is called as my expenses account debit, expenses account debit to my cash or bank account credit. This is expenses account to cash or bank account credit. This is purely a GL transactions. Okay, now let me remove this. Okay, this is purely a GL, sir. This is completely GL because there is no vendor and there is no customer involved here. Now I'll take one vendor. Now I'll take, that is what exactly we call it as the accounts payable. Accounts payable always talks about the vendor. Payable is nothing but vendor payments. Now I'm getting a vendor invoice now. Okay, vendor invoice. Okay, vendor account. That is nothing but, okay, so your expenses account. Your expenses account is getting debited and your vendor account will become the credit. This is a purely vendor. Now I'm coming to accounts receivable. I'm coming to accounts receivable. Customer. I'm coming to the customer. I'm raising an invoice to the customer. Customer account debit. And your sales revenue. And your sales revenue account credit. This is the customer related transaction. I'm coming to the asset related, fixed assets. I'm purchasing an asset now. I'm acquiring an asset from the vendor. So my building account, building is what exactly? I'm purchasing a residential building. Because building account means building is getting debited and my vendor accounts. Here both vendor are there, asset both are there here. See here, vendor is there, asset is also. Vendor account is getting created. Now see here, these are the 4 different types of transactions here in my SAP. I'm taking an example. GL means it is a S. AP means vendor, it is nothing but it is a K. Customer, it is nothing but a D. And asset is nothing but it is a A. Now, if you put all this put together, we can call it as a plus. It is going to be called as a plus. Plus is nothing but all types. Now, to allow any of these transactions in my SAP, let us assume that you are doing a project for a client and you are doing an end user job or whatever maybe. So you are posting all these kind of accounts in your SAP. You have the GL accounts are there, vendor accounts are there, customer accounts are there, assets accounts are there. Then what I had to do here? I had to make the system to allow me posting. So that is what exactly we are going to be calling it as an account type here. If you are putting a plus, if I'm putting a plus here, what does it mean that? Plus is nothing but which is valid for all account types, irrespective of whatever the account types you are going to be taken, it is valid for all account types. If I take a plus, every account type is going to be included. So all the accounts can be posted for the month of January for 2020 is a financial year. 2020, because today we are in the 2020 as a financial year, which is going to be called as 2020.
So Mahesh, question on that year thing you're saying. So why do we have different years for everything like 2020, 2000, 2030? Shouldn't it all be the same?
Where is 2030? Where is 2020, madam? It can be 2000. No, here this is the standard SAP. I'm changing here everything.
And the 2030 is the last year.
No, this is the standard SAP. This is the SAP best practice company code actually. Don't consider this company code, okay? So I'm in my company, I'll do the like this. See here. So I'll copy. It looked like this.
Okay, but in general practice, the year should be the same, right? All the years.
In general practice, the year I'm not changing the year. The from year and to year will be the same only.
Okay. And the ones that are behind?
This is also going to be the same because once you have done all the adjustments, all the adjustments for the previous year, I'll come and change it to 2020 here like this for everything.
Okay.
Mahesh, the column, the first one from period 1, it says 1 from period
Okay.
1, 2020.
One is January.
January, and 2 period 1 again, it's also 1. So what is that?
It's a 1. Because I'm opening only 1 period. So 1 and 2 periods are both. If I keep 2 here, 2 periods are open. January and February both are opened.
Okay, that means it is after, like for the new year, like when you do correction, is it for the adjustment? You're leaving it open, or?
So for new year, for example, previous year adjustments are there, sir. For example, now I need to do the previous year. Your previous year is going to be 2019, sir. To previous year is 2019. So always a December period always should be open. Why? Because I cannot adjust any transactions in the year of 2020. So what I'm going to do here is I will take it as a 12 and I will open it as a 2019 because 12th period always should be open till all my adjustments are completed. For which period? For which year? For 2019. And what I will do here, Simultaneously, I'm also posting the transactions for the new year of 2020 January. I cannot stop. I cannot tell to my user, hey, user, don't post any transactions in the month of January till all the adjustments are going to be adjusted for 2019. No, I cannot tell that. So simultaneously, I should also open the period of 2020 January. So I'll put it as a 1, and here I'll make it as a 2020. So what is happening? Your 12th period is opened for 2019, and simultaneously my first period is opened for 2020. Once you have completed all the adjustments, assume that you have completed 2012 adjustments, everything, 2019 adjustments, then what I will do here, I'll come and change it to year 2020 like this.
And what about the 2 period? 2 period.
2 period will be the 1 only, no sir. 2 period will be the 1 only, no, 1 to 1 only, no, because still we are in the month of January.
Okay, so you change this every month. You gonna update the users. Are you gonna update the users every month?
Exactly.
Okay.
Every month. This activity they have to do every month.
Okay. And that is like, so they don't allow the future transactions.
No, because we don't know the future transactions. No, sir.
Right,
You're absolutely right. So I should not open the period 2 until or unless if all the month-end closings have completed for the month of January.
Correct. Okay, I understand. Thank you very much.
So normally, when you go into the real time, okay. So now, for example, if I take here, sir. So now I am in 2020. Now we are in the month of first period, sir. Everybody, please make a note of all this. First period. Now we are in the month of January. First period. Okay, January. Now we have entered. So just let me remove this one second. Now let us assume that okay, now we have done with the January 31st. Now today is the February 1st. Today is the understand, just a small understand. Today is the February 1st. Now we are in February. But my company is telling that don't close the January because I need to do the month-end closing activities. There are some payments has to be received, something like for the month of January. So don't close the January till what date? Till 6th February or 5th February. 6th February. Till 6th February 2020 example. So what does it mean that? What does it mean that you open the January period, let it be open till the 6th of February, and simultaneously whatever the transactions you want to make for the month of February, you can do the simultaneous. So what I will do here, I'll keep 1 and I'll keep 2 here and I'll keep 2 here. Both the periods are open. So February period is open and the simultaneous January period is also open for me. So now assume that now we have completed 5th February. Now today, assume that now today is the 6th of February. Assume that today is the 6th of February, 2020. Now what my managers will do, they will come back and they will close the 1 and they'll make it as a 2 here. Means your last year adjustments, last year month-end closing activities you have completed before 6th of February. Every month it has to be do the same thing for me. Every month it has to do the same thing. Last month adjustments, whatever the last month period and closing activities, every month, let the period should be open till the next month, 6th, any period you can take. So once the 6th date is completed, so I'll come and I'll make the change. I'll remove the 1 and I'll put it to now only the February period transactions are allowed, not for the month of January. It's confusing or it is making very clear to all of you? It's a real time, I'm telling. All these are going to be the real time. What I will do in my company.
It is very clear, Mahesh.
This is not the training. This is not the training I'm providing to you. This is the real time experience I'm providing to you, all of you. It's a small topic. It will not take more than 10 minutes for me. Now, if you see from last 1.5 hour, last class half an hour, and this is 1 hour, I'm explaining only the concept of period, means how important it is going to be. Okay, now. So no doubts still here. Anybody, please let me raise any doubts, please. I'm ready to clarify. I'm ready to clarify. 1, 2, any doubt till here? So what
Mahesh,
is this account?
These updates will be done automatically, right?
Sir.
Yeah, these updates every month will run automatically, right? There is no manual involvement or
No
something.
manual jobs. I'll be creating a job. A back end a job will be scheduled. Actually, I'll show how to schedule the job also.
Okay.
Automatically, we can do that. A job will be scheduled. We can go, okay, the developers, developers will create a job based on the program. So they will take the program. I don't know what program this is. Okay. So no need to worry.
Okay.
So if you want to know the program for this particular transaction, go to the system. And there is a status option. And okay, if you want to know the program for this, you have to come to the screen and you have to go to the system and come to the status. And the program is going to, this is the program. This is the program. SAP L0F00 is the program they are going to be using. So this is the program for this particular time. The backend, the coding they have done in the web app is like this. Now, what is the from account and to account here? Because if I'm taking a place, sir, if I'm taking a place, okay, now, if you take a GL, the GL account numbers, expenses account or cash account, the GL accounts number will start from 100. Account numbers I'm talking, like every employee will have an employee ID number, 1563, 1562, something like that. So these are the GL account numbers. My GL account numbers will start from 100 to 9999. My vendor accounts will start from 5,000 to, these are the account numbers, like 5999. My customer accounts will start from 6,000. And they have multiple 899. And my building accounts, residential building account, factory buildings might be there are so many others. So I'll start with the 8,000 example, okay, 8999. If you see the series here, it's a completely heterogeneous. Completely, it is called as a heterogeneous landscape. There is no sequence we are going to be following. So SAP, what it is asking, you give the from account and to account number. My dear friend, if I'm only taking the GL, for example, if I take only the GL, 2020, 2020. If I only take the GL, I have very clarity about the account numbers, 100 to 9999. I have the clarity over here. So I'll give from one. So only these account numbers are allowed. Not all account numbers are allowed. 100 to 999, 199 example. This is example. So I'm giving the account number. This is called the from account and the to account. I'm giving the account number, GL account number, salary account, cash or bank account. All the accounts are going to be included in this. Tomorrow, if we are trying to post any transaction, like I'm giving the account number as a 210, example 210. I'm trying to post a transaction. I'm giving the account number as a 210, but that account number 210 is not included here. The account number 210 is not included in this list. It is ended up to 119, and the system doesn't allow you to post, even though if the period is open also. Even though the period is open, the system will not allow. So that's the reason what we'll do in the normal regular practice. We will not give anything here. So we will make it as a infinity. Z. Just put it as a to account as a infinity. So don't allow yourself to don't make yourself as a very complicated. So that SAP asks you to give Z. I will allow all the accounts. Not to worry about that. If you have any restrictions in the real time, then I can put it from account and to account, but not in the case of all the account types over here. This is what exactly I call it as a GLs. Z. Clear? All of you?
Yes, sir.
So don't say sir, please. I'm Mahesh here, please. We all are friends. Okay.
Mahesh, in SAP, is there a standard account numbers for, like, say, for asset account, there is a standard GL it should start, or for expense?
Yeah, standard account numbers are there, sir. You do one thing, okay? Just go to, okay, here, I'll tell you one, okay? So actually SAP is providing you the best practice company code. So you can use that SAP best practice company code for your reference purpose. Actually, when you go to, for example, I'll take you one example. Go to SPRO, IMG, financial accounting for global settings, Now here we have a called as the global parameters for company code. Global parameters for company code. When you come here, enter the global parameters. So as you have the SAP standard best practice. This is the SAP best practice company code actually. So you can take it as a reference for your new company code. You can copy or you can do anything. This is the SAP best practice company code. 1710 is the SAP best practice company code. In ECC, we have 0001 and 1000. In ECC, I'm talking, not in SAP S4. When you go back to your SAP ECC, we have best practice company code as the 0001 or 1000. Okay. Like this, in SAP, we have this company code. So you can go and see the accounts for this company code, sir. Clear? I'll show that. I'll show that also. So any doubts, sir? Any doubts from anybody?
No, I think this was very helpful and very clear. Thank you.
Okay. Now, this 3 period is also there here. What is we understood about the first period is normal periods, and the period 2 is nothing but the special periods, and there is one more period is also there, period 3 and period 3. If you go back to your SAP ECC, SAP ECC, actually earlier all the actuals, FI is the separate module. FI is the separate module, and we have another module also called as the controlling. Controlling is very important for the cost accounting. So for posting of all the actual transactions, I'm talking only from the point of now the actuals, ACTUAL, actuals only, not talking about the planned or any other, only actuals. Now we have only one table now. We have only one table. All the actuals will go and store in one table. The table name we are going to be calling it as the ACDOCA table. ACDOCA table. Now from today onwards, all the FI transactions will go into the ACDOCA, and all the actuals of controlling will go and store in the ACDOCA table. Earlier in SAP ECC, what is happening here? Because we have a different line item level tables are there. For FI, we have the BSEC table, and for controlling, we have a COEP table. Earlier, we have these two are different modules. Earlier, what is happening in SAP ECC? The opening and closing, whatever the path I'm explaining, this path, this one. Earlier, what is happening for FI, there is a separate open and close posting periods in FI. And for controlling, there is a separate transaction for opening and closing of the financial, for the controlling transactions. Because this will not work for the controlling. This is only for FI, for vendor, customer, assets, like all these things. But this will not work for the controlling earlier. For controlling, there is separate open and close posting periods are also there. Now, what is happening in SAP S4HANA? Because all the actuals of FI and the controllings are getting updated to the same table, where we can call it as the ACDOCA table. Very, very important. Now, whatever the separate open and close posting periods you are maintaining for actuals in the controlling, now they have directly brought them into the same screen, where we can call it as period 3 now. No need to use separate one now from today onwards. Period 3 is for the controlling from today onwards. Controlling open and close posting periods. Controlling. So 1, this is for 2020, 2020. So the starting which I have given here is, this is for FI. This is for the FI here. This from period 1 is for FI. January 2020 to January 2020 first period is FI, and January 2020 to January 2020 this period is for the controlling. Because why they have this is not this setting is not available in SAP ECC. This is only in SAP S4HANA. Why? Because from today onwards we can see all the FI and controlling postings are updating in the same table. So instead of maintaining different open and close posting periods, they have combined both FI and CO into one transaction code called as OB52. This is the transaction code I'm going to be using for this. This is what exactly, if I come and see here, this is OB52 is the transaction code I'm using for this transaction. This last period 3 is for the controlling. This is called as open and close posting period variant. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see how to create a variant and how to assign to the company codes. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you very much, all of
Hey,
you.
Mahesh, I have a question for Zarentech. Are they on the call?
No, madam.
Zarentech?
No, madam.
Oh, they are not? Okay.
Anything?
Alright.
What is the problem? What is
So I wanted to ask them, like my server access is not working. So they were going to look into it and get back to me when I called them this morning, but I haven't heard back. And they told me they'll call me back in a couple of hours.
And they were going to set up the access in 24 hours, but I didn't get anything last 3 days.
Okay.
Even for me, Mahesh, I have given an email for them this morning, but I didn't receive
Mahesh,
anything from them.
please let them know the response is very slow.
So it's literally no response,
It's not even response.
It's
They're not
been
even responding to the emails or calls also.
since so many months
Okay.
now, no access.
Okay, sir.
I don't know.
I'll talk to them now. I'll talk to them.
Opening the ticket, there is no concern at all shown.
Okay. Let me talk to them, sir. Actually, so okay, so okay, I'll talk to them, sir. Once, just give me. Okay, I'll talk to them. Otherwise, you have a support team number, sir? Anybody?
So that's what I'm saying. I called them and they told me they will call me back in a couple of hours. They need to check with their manager on the access issue, and they never responded back.
Okay, I'll talk to them, madam. Just give me. Okay, so because I also stopped communicating with them. Okay, so they have given the responsibility as a faculty. You have to only be as a faculty. They have given the warnings to me. So I'm not involving in the server access now. So let me take up this.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll talk to them. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.